I was hoping I would never have to make a video like this, but I think the title of today's video is probably the most accurate title I've ever had in my entire life. Browns fans just got horrible news. It does not appear that Nick Chubb will be coming back to Cleveland, and we are talking about a franchise legend, a fan favorite, someone who has been with this team through some really good days and some really, really bad days, and it just sucks to see him not finish his career in Cleveland, which he publicly said he wants to be a Brown for life. But Mary Kay put out an article today talking about 4 notable free agents for the Browns, and here's what she said about Nick Chubb. It's the end of the Nick Chubb era in Cleveland, and it's sad it has to end this way. The face of the franchise since he rumbled through the doors in 2018, Chubb should have finished his career with the team that drafted and developed him. But the crushing knee injury thwarted those plans. Chubb has stated unequivocally since late in the season that he wanted to come back, but it's probably not going to happen. The Browns gave him last season to return from the injury, make more than $2 million, and walk away with some grace and dignity despite being a shadow of his former bruising self. But Chubb, a freak of nature with superhuman traits, has vowed he'll be better in his second season out from his 2 surgeries, and some teams are likely willing to give him a chance. I'm not shocked about this, but it still hurts, right? It still sucks. My interpretation from this is, and this is just a little bit of a guess, but an educated guess, Nick Chubb's agent told Mary Kay the Browns are not in conversations with us about a reunion, and Chubb's agent gave this to a reporter to write something like this, to maybe apply some pressure to the front office to bring back Chubb with a little bit of backlash coming out before free agency starts. I don't see why the Browns themselves would go up to Mary Kay and go, "You want a juicy story? We don't plan to re-sign a fan favorite." No, to me, this probably seems like it's coming from Chubb's camp to apply some pressure to the Browns because this is going to get people riled up, but it sucks. That's really the best way to describe this, right? I'm not blindsided by it. I mean, Andrew Berry, when he had his little media scrum with some local reporters after his official press conference, said that they're letting Nick Chubb hit free agency, and I wouldn't say that was a death sentence, but that was an opportunity for Chubb to find out his value, and maybe the Browns would match any fair offer another team gave. But I'm going to trust Mary Kay on this one and say it's probably Jover. The Nick Chubb era in Cleveland is likely ending, and it sucks that his last 2 seasons with the Browns are just bad and inaccurate reflections of his performance. Obviously, 2023 cut short, plays half of 2024 and didn't even look like a shell of himself. A shell of himself would have been nice. It looks like someone else put on his uniform. It looked like a bad version of that one Amanda Bynes movie when she becomes a soccer player. It wasn't even something like Nick Chubb. It was someone else in 24. It's kind of like in the movie Troy, when Brad Pitt's character Achilles, his cousin put on his gear and dies. That's what last year was 2024 for Nick Chubb. He was Achilles' cousin who died in the battle. Sorry for any spoilers. Now, Chubb in that 2018 to 2022 stretch was phenomenal, and it's just a bummer that Derrick Henry happened to play running back at the exact same time, because you want to know who Chubb was second to in all these categories, in rushing yards, in touchdowns. If not for being at the same time of a future Hall of Fame running back, I think the national perspective on Chubb would be vastly different. And people already think Chubb is a phenomenal back. But only Cleveland knows how truly special he was. And it's honestly a crime that more football fans did not appreciate his greatness because he happened to coincide with some other great running backs at that time. And playing on a losing team in Cleveland, he never had those great Sunday night, Monday night football moments where the whole country was watching. And despite putting up terrific numbers, he was just never quite looked at as the same elite tier as some other backs outside of Cleveland. Inside of Cleveland, we're all going to remember him as being arguably a top 5 running back in the last 15 years. And that sounds crazy to say, but I think if you look at the numbers, and you have to only look at that 5-year stretch because the last 2 years were plagued by injuries, but in that 5-year stretch, No one's averaged 5 yards plus a carry in the first 5 seasons of their career other than Nick Chubb, I believe. I think he's the only one, or he's one of few. So if this is the last time that we really talk about Chubb on an episode, let's show him, a good exit, a good, send off. Drop a 24 in the comment section. I would love to get 24 comments from someone. So let's show him that Browns fans still love him and wish him nothing but the best wherever he ends up. He's going to be someone that Browns fans root for no matter where he signs, right? You're going to have a subsection, not even a subsection, you're the entire fan base that's going to be partial, wherever he ends up, fans of that team solely because of Nick Chubb. With that, I thought we could run through some of the top 5 Nick Chubb moments. This is just my rankings. I'm sure I'm missing out 1 or 2 great ones, but I'll start at number 5, and it's his 2-touchdown performance against the Steelers this past season in the snow, including the go-ahead touchdown to win the game. It was terrific to see Chubb score not once but twice against the Steelers, especially with what happened in 2023 in the snow. An awesome home win for the fan base. The last win of the season, and I was really happy for Chubb to get 2 touchdowns. So I wouldn't say it was like a make-a-wish kind of touchdown situation here, but I'm going to put it at number 5. At number 4, this is more of just one specific moment, but it's the behind-the-back touchdown catch he had. He was never a terrific receiver, but when he did have the ball come his way, he did make some fantastic plays, including this one right here against the Bengals. Man, the guy, fucking Hugh Jackson, just not using him nearly enough as a rookie and robbing him of getting 1,000 yards as a rookie. And that would have been an awesome start to his career. 1,000-yard season after 1,000-yard season for 5 straight years. At number 3, I'm going to go with another highlight against the Bengals. Give me his 70-yard touchdown run against Cincinnati. I remember when I was rewatching the highlight of this, and I saw Baker in the sling, and I was like, oh yeah, kind of forgot all about that for a moment there. But 70-yard touchdown run, and the Browns just completely beat up the Bengals for a good stretch, and hopefully that stretch continues. But last year, the Bengals got the better end of the battle for Ohio, but still, 2021 had a 70-yard house call by Chubb against the rivals from Kentucky. Number 2, I got to go with the Raiders touchdowns. It was his first career touchdown in the NFL. He scored 2 that game, if you remember. But what I think is so memorable about this game and these highlights right here is anytime you see the highlights pop up on your phone or wherever you catch highlights, you're reminded about the Coliseum and the Raiders playing on a baseball field. And I don't know why, but if this exact same situation happened in Las Vegas for Nick Chubb's rookie year, it wouldn't be number 2 on my list. But watching Chubb run across the infield for 2 long touchdowns late September, his first year, don't tell me the infield does not make this 2 times better. And lastly, at number 1, you can probably guess it. It is the 90-plus yard touchdown run at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Again, I don't know how he did not start more games and see more touches right out the jump as a rookie. But still, the longest touchdown run in franchise history. Am I wrong? Nick Chubb, truly one of the best Browns in franchise history. And if not for an injury later in his career, I think the numbers would be a better reflection of that. And I almost feel like it's our responsibility to make sure we tell our kids and they tell their kids that 24 was special. And even if he doesn't finish first or second in all-time rushing yards and touchdowns for the Browns, and this is my recency bias showing right now, he's the second best running back in franchise history behind the late, great Jim Brown. Nick Chubb, thank you for all the great memories. This truly is the end of the road. Let me know what your favorite Nick Chubb memory, moment, whatever it may be, is in the comment section below. Wish him nothing but success and the best moving forward. Absolutely no hard feelings, whatever comes next between myself, and I think I speak for all of us when I say we're rooting for you, Chubb, and I really wish it didn't have to end this way, but I know that it's a business, and after the, poor performance, poor season last year, I can't say I'm shocked the Browns are deciding it's time to move on, but I wish they could find a way just to bring him back on a 1-year, cheap contract, have him in that locker room, and maybe he's taking a roster spot away from someone a little bit more deserving, but I think he's earned that at this point in his career. So I'm willing to make that sacrifice, but It does not appear the Browns are. Let's pick a card to conclude today's episode. Reed, I'm going to box this in here. You can go with the 2 or you can go with the 4. Which one do you want to do? Everyone better pick a 2 or a 4. You want to do 2 of clubs? I'll do 4 clubs. If this hits. If this hits, Andrew, Barry, if this hits, you have to bring it back. Is that a deal? Yeah. That's a deal. If it's 2 or 4 clubs, you have to bring it back. I'm shuffling. What was the next one? No. It's getting worse. Okay, the next one. This is like deal or no deal. If you had to open one more case, what would it have been? No, okay, we're gonna stop right there. It's getting like red cards now. Okay. That's it. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as one could when talking about like a sad subject like this. I feel like I went to a funeral. I really feel like I just came home from a funeral. I will catch up with everyone tomorrow for our live show. I have a surprise on the live show, so tune in for that. I think you might like it, and I'll see everyone then.